Language has changed significantly with the advent of social and texting. Between 140 character limits and teeny little mobile keyboards, people are getting pretty inventive when it comes to expressing themselves. Acronyms, emojis, slang, one-word answers, and incredibly loose grammar abound online. And this has some grammarians and sticklers for the English language very upset. So today I'm going to tackle a delicate subject. And though I'm a big fan of presenting ideas clearly and soundly, I'm going to argue that we need to totes lighten up on that grammar policing. My name is Tara, and this is Truly Social. So I'm guessing right now that the grammar purists watching this have their defenses up. So let me begin by saying this. I tend to be a purist myself about my own work. Though I tend to write quite colloquially, I am a stickler for good sentence structure. I know that good grammar can clarify an idea and remove any ambiguous meanings. However, anyone who has ever studied language knows this. Language is always changing. Just imagine if it be true that I were to speak it in the language of the 16th century. How wouldst I say it? Please passeth me the wine, or how doth I receiveth to the zoo? If it be true I were to translate this entire video into Shakespearean, wouldst thou understand me? Why do I always devolve into like a bad British accent there? Language has changed significantly over time, and there have probably also always been people lamenting this change. And secondly, grammar purists, grammar policing is decidedly racist and classist. Grammar rules come from somewhere and are set down by someone, and historically this somewhere and someone is white and privileged. In order to learn these rules, you need to have a certain level of education in a certain type of institution. Almost every style book, AP style, Chicago manual style, MLA handbook, was originally created by a group of white, well-to-do, educated men. I know that they meant well, but just imagine if someone created a New style book, or a South Side of Chicago style book, or a Cockney style book, and insisted that everyone align. Actually, I kind of wish that would happen. Either way, grammar sticklers come across as liberal elites, and that's uncool. Speaking of Cockney, New, or South Side of Chicago, this brings me to my next point. There is never one version of any language. There are so many regional accents, dialects, idioms, and phrases that two people speaking the same basic language, be it French, English, Portuguese, Mandarin, whatever, won't be able to fully understand one another either. With all of these variations of each language, who decides which regional dialect is the universal one? Who gets to be the universal versus who gets to be the other? Who decides? Think about it. We don't all sound the same. Thank goodness. Different social groups, professional groups, industries, cultures, interest groups, etc., speak differently. Some are more formal, some are more casual, some use 10-cent words, some use a lot of slang. Others use acronyms that are only understood within that group. Now this should be celebrated. These linguistic patterns are what unite us and sometimes separate us, but they become a ritual. If you and I understand the same slang and acronyms, we have an instant bond. I worked at organizations where everyone speaks in insider acronyms, and as I started to learn and understand these acronyms, I became more and more accepted within the organization. The human experience is diverse. Why not our language? At the end of the day, nobody can agree on the rules anyway. Oxford comma? I say yes, I love me a good comma. APA, MLA, Chicago, Turabian. Even those writing the rules are constantly bickering over whether we capitalize internet or put a hyphen in email. I can't keep up with the changes, but whatever. The awesome thing about standards is that we have so many to choose from. We have always had multiple complex stories and experiences in dialects. Now we just have a new way to express ourselves. If the internet has brought us anything good, it's that democratization allows for the questioning of these so-called standards. Who sets them? Why? Why those? Why not others? Continued grammar policing demonstrates a certain rigidity that does not work in today's multicultural, multifaceted world. IMO, grammar should be like religion. I respect your beliefs and approach, but you should also respect mine. Now, for more popular opinions on this and many other topics related to social, marketing, strategy, and business, subscribe or follow me wherever you're watching this. My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.